Welcome to the Exit Plan Show. Today's guest is Chris Bauck. He's the founder of SDR Ventures in Greenwood Village, Colorado. Stick around to the end of this episode because we're going to show you how to subscribe to our newsletter and win a free copy of the #1 book about exit planning. Thank you to Zarlingo Robb, CPAs and Business Advisors in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, for providing a location for us to film this episode. At Zarlingo Robb, they think like business owners. For more information about Zarlingo Robb, please click the link in our website show notes. Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like today's guest, Chris Bauck, to help business owners like you enjoy more personal freedom, grow your company faster, and retire someday on your own terms. Now, Chris Bauck works with clients to execute mergers and acquisitions, secure equity and debt financing, and maximize shareholder value. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Today we're going to talk about growth through acquisition. When should a company pursue a growth through acquisition strategy instead of maybe introducing new products and services?
Well, it's really a buy versus build decision. Is it more economical? Is it faster to get to market to acquire a company? Or should you grow it and build it organically?
Okay. So besides introducing new products and services, what other strategies do you see business owners maybe trying and that would be better to direct their resources towards
an acquisition?
Yeah.
It really is. If scale is an important part of the growth equation, are there synergies that come through a larger company? Can you reduce cost, amortize fixed cost over a larger base of sales? So that's really some of the drivers in determining whether to pursue an acquisition strategy.
Okay, are there any particular fixed costs that would benefit more from that than others?
Well, it's, you know, if you're in a regulated environment, a lot of times those regulatory costs are fixed and you want to amortize those over a larger sales base. A lot of times the administration and overhead of your operations can be amortized over a larger sales base. So that's where we find a lot of the synergies and value drivers in an acquisition.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. So I mean, I got a question. You probably, as a CPA, can bring this right off the top of your head. What percentage of the business you do you think is growth through acquisition in your firm? Any idea?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, we do help business owners buy. We help them sell. We help them raise debt or equity. And right now we have of our 14 engagements, active engagements, 3 of them are buy-side engagements.
Okay, so that's about 20%.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think a lot of business owners overlook that strategy?
I think they do. They're a little bit afraid of acquiring a company, introducing a different culture into their culture. They may have done an acquisition. They don't know how to integrate an acquisition. And so, yeah, I think there can be a little bit of fear and trepidation on pursuing that kind of strategy.
And so we've talked about this before. I think a lot of business owners try to do it themselves on selling their company, and my guess is they probably stay away from this because they don't think they can do it themselves and really don't get professional assistance.
Well, yeah, we find the biggest thing in pursuing a growth strategy through acquisition is if you use an intermediary, and when you approach potential acquisition candidates, we can remove the emotion out of the negotiations. And if you're going to go sell your business, that's a highly emotional transaction. Think about the business owner on the other side of the table there. It's a highly emotional transaction for them as well.
Okay, good information. Well, we mentioned value drivers. We talked in length yesterday with John Brown of BEI about value drivers. Which specific value drivers benefit most from a growth through acquisition strategy?
It's really the fixed cost that you get to amortize over a larger base of sales, but it can also be by combining 2 organizations, you create more momentum and more velocity in the growth of the business. So both of those factors can be important in an acquisition strategy.
Okay, great. We all know sometimes the whole can be much greater than the sum of its parts. And I guess that's also true in growth through acquisition strategies.
Absolutely. 1 + 1 can equal 3. And so as we've talked previously, It's the synergies in the cost side of the business, but it also can be the synergies in the growth side of the business, creating momentum and velocity and positive momentum in the growth of your company.
Okay, so I've heard different numbers on this, and some that was sticking in the back of my mind is typically an acquirer is between 5 and 20 times the size of your company. So I guess the larger your company gets, the larger the targets they can look at for future acquisitions.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at a company that is significantly larger than your company, certainly there are some risk factors that come with that kind of acquisition. It tends to be more in the integration of that acquisition into your company and culture. But yeah, the larger you get, the larger of acquisition candidates you can pursue.
Okay, but a company could actually try to acquire a larger company, I guess, and those
Sure.
risks. How would you mitigate those risk factors in that situation?
Well, it's planning and preparation, really. It's thinking about the strategy of integrating that company and probably seeking some professional help to help you integrate the acquisition target. There are many advisors out there that have done that on multiple occasions, and they know the tips and tricks of the trade and can help you avoid the pitfalls of integrating an acquisition.
Okay, hey, thanks for clarifying that.
You bet.
So that's it with Chris Bauck with SDR Ventures. If you want more information about Chris, please visit our website, check out the show notes. You'll find a link there to his website, more information about him. And while you're on our website, you can also subscribe to our newsletter, which gives you an opportunity to win a free copy of the #1 book about exit planning.